In this game analysis, I wanted to break down what we are doing to create space so we can trigger the defenders. Are we recognizing the free player so we can move the ball through the thirds? And defensively, what are we doing to deny forward play from the opponent? In this first part, I wanted to show you all how we are able to move the defender just by our movement off the ball. So as we're setting up for a goal kick, we see Stella here as she is trying to open up some space. We notice the defender is following her. And now as Sophia comes into the ball, we're going to notice Stella, instead of leaving this gap here, we check into it, and now we're making the field compact. When we are attacking, we want to keep the field as big as possible so we can have central options and we can create some free players. So we're playing the ball here into Maeve, and when we have time, let's use the time that is given to us. So maybe if any of our center backs here are receiving the ball when we're playing out from the back, if we don't have immediate pressure, then we can hang on to the ball to trigger a defender. Now is the defender going to try to close in on this player and leave one of our other players free? So for example, this player may be closing in on Maeve and then leaving Sloan completely wide open. What we're going to see here now as the sequence plays out, Annika notices that the gap starts to close off as Maeve continues to dribble, so she opens up to become a free player. Unfortunately, we didn't recognize free player options. We have 1, 2, and 3. Instead, we play centrally, we lose the ball, and we go back on defense. So just how we move off the ball, we can be able to create some options and trigger the defender so we can see how they're going to defend and let us know how we should be attacking. So we have another goal kick here again, taken from Sophia. This time we decide to play out wide, and we see again Stella coming in, closing the space, and leaving minimal space for Sloan when she has the ball. So now when we try to move the ball forward, since we were in very compact shape, it was very difficult for us to move the ball with ease. We want to maximize our space so it makes it easier for us to move the ball and find options. In this next play here, we are defending. So the other team has the ball right now, and then we win the ball and we begin our attacking transition. So right at this moment here, Eliana has won the ball. The ball's on the right side. We can take advantage of the left side here now. So when we are beginning our attacking transition, can we recognize the free spaces that we are creating? Can we find some free players so we can change the point of attack? So here Eliana on the ball, maybe we could have seen here Annika. Annika could have recognized that she had some time to maybe hold the ball or dribble forward since there's no press, and in the meantime our wings spreading out so we can trigger these defenders and maybe keep opening spaces for us to go through the middle third. So we'll see here as the video plays out, we continue to go to the right side. It's very compact on this right side, and then we have a difficult time moving the ball forward since we're very compact, rather than just moving the ball, changing the point of attack, and going the other way. When we are in this middle third, we want to think of maximizing our width. Maximizing our width so we can trigger the defenders and then allow us to go centrally to go. We cannot go centrally to go until we have created some spaces. So using our wide players, maybe playing to our wide players, is going to disrupt this compactness and allow us to go more centrally towards the goal. Again, we need to get some width when we are in the middle third. When we get towards the final third, then we can think about going centrally towards goal. This short clip here, I just wanted to show how we are able to use some space here this time between Stella and Sloan. So Sloan winning the ball, Stella this time going up high to get some space. Unfortunately though, from a poor touch, we lose the ball, but better idea there. Rather than closing in on Sloan, we opened up so we can create some space and move the ball. In this play here, we're going to see how we use our space so we can attack and move the ball, and then also how we are moving off the ball to trigger some defenders. So we see here Stella getting wide, leaving the defender here so she could become a free player. She's playing our left back this time, and then Emma playing our left wing. So Stella is giving it lots of space. Rather than keeping the space for Stella, we begin to check in towards her and close off Stella space. So now we're making it more difficult. When we have the ball, we're making it more difficult for Stella to use some space. Ideally, when the wingers have the ball, we only want our central midfield players to be checking in short. So they're the ones checking in for the simple short options, and then the wingers are staying high and wide. So then once we connect centrally, we can be able to move forward with our wings or changing the point of attack. So here we see Stella continue with the ball, and since someone's so close and tight, we end up losing the ball and we go back on defense. Here we have another goal kick from Sophia playing it to Maeve. Here, if we are given time, let's use time. So we cut off time by going on a dribble because now we are cutting off some space. So here, this is a good moment where we can trigger a defender. So if we hang on to the ball here, see what this defender is going to do. Are they going to close in, giving a free wide option? Is this central player going to close in, giving a central option? But again, we don't know how we're going to attack unless we trigger the defenders and see how they're going to defend. We need to cause a reaction so then we can have an action. Well, so we see here, Maeve continue on a dribble, and then we have a free player not recognizing it, and instead we go long and we lose the ball, go back on defense. In this free kick here, we see Maeve taking it. We are in the middle third. We're looking to stretch the field out with width, so that way we can disrupt the compactness that the opponent has right now. We want to trigger the defenders, see if they will get out wide so we can open up the central field. Instead, we have no space. We play in centrally, we lose the ball, and we end up going back on defense. This clip here, ball is getting played from the keeper. We go out wide here to Stella, and instead of making big spaces, we are drawing in the defender with us, making it compact, making it easier for them to defend. So now we brought in two defenders into this scenario when it could have just been one. So as we see here, Somo continued to check, bringing the defender in with her, and now because we brought the defender in, we allow the defender to win the ball. If Somo could have stayed high, potentially this ball could have gotten into our center midfield player, not having a player cut the passing lane. So again, we need to move so we can trigger these defenders, give us space, move them away from the ball. So players moving away from the ball to this big space is also going to move the defender away from the ball. So here we're taking the kickoff. This is our attacking moment in possession, and we're in possession, so we want to stretch the field with some width. So here we see Lily tucked in a little central, Sloan tucked in even more central, and we are attacking, so we want to spread out the field with width. So then as we get close to this middle third, we can stretch the field out, and then we can look to play in central. So here we open up the field a little bit by going out wide, and now this player becomes free centrally that we can potentially combine into. We force to go long, which we become fortunate enough to win the ball. So here we are now in the middle third. Middle third, we're looking to stretch with width before we go towards the goal. Instead, we force it up in the air, trying to force Grace to go on a chase. And since the team was still compact, we did not disrupt their shape at all by not playing wide. They win the ball since they're compact, and we go back on defense. In this next clip here, we're going to see what we are doing to deny forward play from the opponent. So here first we see closing in the spaces immediately and then forcing them to play away from the goal. Now here, as this is happening, they're going away from the goal. This should be the cue for the back line to step forward rather than sitting back, giving them options to play forward to. So we're giving them this option, we're giving them this option, maybe we're giving them this option. We can eliminate these 1, 2, 3 options if we just get Stella, Maeve, Aniston, and Sloan to push up on this cue. So we push up here, and then Soma could have been a little bit tighter here as well. Maeve could have been on this player. Our holding mid could have stepped forward to fill this gap here. Stella going forward to keep this player off sides. And we have our right back here, which is Sloan, sitting back as well, keeping these two players on. So we need to read the cues. When the ball goes away from our goal, we really need some urgency from this back line to push forward, get players off sides, deny forward play, so we can not give them options to play forward to. We deny forward play by getting them off sides, taking away 2 of their targets to go forwards to. But we really need to push forward when the ball goes away from our goal. So here we'll see what happens. Since we did not push forward, we kept players available This could also be another opportunity to push forward because she is going away from our goal. Instead of sitting back, we go forwards. Get this player off, get the other winger on their team that was on this right side off by pushing forward. So again, ball is going away from our goal. We have a gap here. This gap could have been filled if we would have just played. Sorry, this gap could have been filled if we would have just stepped forward to cover the space. So instead, we continue to give them space, leaving a free player here. We could have stepped forward to kept her off, stepped forward to kept her off, and then step forward to kept her off. Because if she can't play here, maybe she is looking to go diagonally. But again, to deny forward play, we need to step forward to take away their forward targets. And this player trying to get in front so we can deny a forward dribble. This clip here is another action where we can read our cue to push forward. That way we can be prepared to deny forward play from the opponent. So we clear the ball over and ball is going away from our goal. So this should be our cue to step forward so we can get players offsides, close spaces, and deny forward play from the opponent. So ball has reached here, their center back. So at this point, we should be having our 10 and our holding mids filling up these three players, and then our back line pushing up, getting players offsides so we can cover some gaps and spaces here. So we continue the sequence here. We try to get in front of the ball. We win it again. Ball goes away from our goal, giving us another opportunity to step forward. We notice this player is unmarked. If we step forward, this player can be marked. We see these two players here getting ready to become available players. If we push forward, we can get them marked. So now we see here from a lack of our back line pushing forward, now our midfield line is staying back as well, keeping their players available so they can play forward. So here we had a delay from our outside back to close in this space, giving an option to play forward. Again, not marking because we didn't push up, giving an option for them to play forward. They played again away from our goal. There should be another cue where we step forward, back line, getting players off sides. We don't need to be worried about this player, don't need to be worried about this player. We can just maybe focus on 1, 2, 3, these three players. Our back line on these three players, midfield players, 1, 2 on these three players here. Another ball going away from our goal. Here we should continue to be pushing forward. Striker now should be on this player. Our 10 maybe here. Our holding mid maybe here. Our another holding mid maybe covering this space here, ready to cut off the passing lane. And then our back line on these three players. So we could potentially make this field really, really tight, taking away options and denying forward play from the opponent. So since we didn't push forward, we kept players available, unmarked, and instead backline was just back here waiting to allow the other team to play forward. So we don't need to be marking this player, we can get them off. We don't need to be marking this player, we can get them off. We need to have our backline forward so we can be ready to close these gaps and deny forward play from the opponent. So hopefully from these clips, we got some insight on what we can do to deny forward play. We need to get our lines to push up. That way we can cover spaces. We can prevent any long balls going over by getting them off sides. And then when we are attacking, we want to create space off the ball. We want to trigger defenders so we can see how we can attack. We want to recognize our free player so we can move the ball through the thirds. Thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you tonight